Alright, so we're back with another review and thoughts on, this time checking out Escape Room, which came out in 2019. I actually got the honor of seeing this one in the theater with my sister and her boyfriend. Actually, the first time I saw it in the theater, I enjoyed it a good bit, and then the ending came, and I'm like, screw this movie. But, watching it again is like, and then now that there's a sequel out, and it actually does the characters from the first film carry over into the second film, so I'm not too bummed out, but it's like, I don't know. But then I'm also hesitant on if I'll even like the second film. Because I will say I like the idea of, escape rooms being deadly this time around. Basically, it follows a group of people who are sent to a series of deadly escape rooms. And pretty much one by one they die in these rooms if they don't find the right, patterns and keys or whatever, or items. Yeah, it's directed by Adam Rubitel, and written by somebody else or two other people. But yeah, overall, like the movie, I mean, it has these 6 people, and we do get like backstory on most of them anyway. Well, actually all of them, but some of them we get, I think, like 3 flashbacks of maybe like 3 of them. The acting in this is fine. I liked, the acting from the Ben character. I liked his actor, not sure who's the actor that played Ben. Logan Miller. I don't know if I saw him in anything else. Oh, he was a Disney XD sitcom. I'm in a band. He was an alternate Spider-Man. So no, I haven't seen. Not familiar with him. Or not Zoe. That's the character. Taylor Russell McKenzie. Now, I haven't her either. I'm not she played in that new Lost in Space, I guess, show or movie, one of them. Yeah, overall, like it's easy to follow. Really, like the plot's easy to follow. These 6 people, 6 strangers. You find out like the whole reasoning why they've been picked by this organization. The ending, again, I'm not really a fan of, because it has like, what, 2 or 3 endings, 2 or 3 different endings. Like, it fades out and then it goes to this one and it fades out. It's like a Lord of the Rings type thing. Fellowship of the Ring. But yeah, like, I didn't mind the film. I don't mind it. I thought the puzzles or the escape rooms were pretty cool. The first room, like, when it's basically an oven, and some of the dialogue I thought was funny. Like, some of the humor in this was funny from the characters, at least to me. They're like picking on the Ben character, although his backstory is sad. And some of his characters, at least to me, I got behind. Like the Zoe character, Ben character, I like the nerd Indian guy, Danny, I believe his character, yeah, Danny, who's an expert sort of on escape rooms. He claimed he did like 93 escape rooms. Yeah, right. I mean, maybe some people are just that into them, and but wow. I did 1 escape room, and I lost. We almost got to like the end, but then we lost in the final room, which is, I believe, the final room. Which was funny, because we actually almost won. We were in the final room, and then, nope, we couldn't figure out what to do, and then, but yeah, this one, I mean, they each get a puzzle cube, they have to figure it out, and that takes time. And then it tries to do character stuff of Zoe's character who's in college, and she's a shy girl. You have the black guy, Jason, who's like a wealthy day trader who's a jerk throughout this movie. I did not care for his character. Because he's like, the survival of the fittest. It was like, yeah, you gotta watch out for him the most. And then Ben, who's a stock boy. Mike, who's a truck driver. Actually, I didn't mind his character either. His backstory is sad as well. Amanda, who's an Iraq war veteran, I liked her. It sucks that I would have liked if she made it like to the final thing. When they solve the puzzle, they are invited to take part in an escape room with $10,000. Pretty much, participants arrive at the office block, and that's when they get they knock on the desk, the greeting desk glass window, and the woman's like, "Please take a seat or whatever. We'll be right with you." And then they realize, oh, that's a recording. The whole time it's not even a real person. And then pretty much Ben goes to leave the room because he wants to smoke a cigarette, but then he breaks the knob, and then that's what begins the escape. Well, really, as soon as they enter, it's already started, really. Pretty much the first room's a oven, so they have to try to put all these things on the, I forget what they're called, on the table, pretty much, the corners of the table. And then they crawl through a vent, then they go to another room where, basically an Alaska room, where they're freezing, and so Danny falls through the ice and pretty much drowns because he's being pulled by the current, because Ben was being a douchebag, so he throws his lighter because they want to melt the key out of the ice, but then, so yeah, Danny dies, which sucks because I did like his, it's funny, like, I liked most of these characters, at least, really all, except for one. I didn't care for one of them. Then they go to a billboard bar, pretty much 8-ball bar. Then pretty much it's sort of like musical chairs, except the room's upside down, which is pretty cool. And then they have to try to figure out, codes or whatever, numbers. And pretty much every time the music stops, then the floor falls. So then they have to jump on the walls and try to hang on. And pretty much the Iraq girl, I forget her name, Amanda, she decides to just fall. Because she then hangs on a phone line, which I'm like, how about you try to swing across the... But she didn't even try, so like... Then it's just Mike, Jason, Ben, and then Zoe. And pretty much, Jason shocks Mike to death, which I'm like... And then, because the room's like, you have to see how your heartbeat has to, I guess, go lower. But then I'm like, the Jason character knew what to do, so then he decides, oh, I know what to do, I'll do it myself. But then it sucks, because he killed the Mike character who I liked. Because all he did was shock him, and then he's unconscious, and I guess he dies, pretty much. Because he shocked him so much. Which, it looked like he only shocked him like 3 or 2 times. And then, the Zoe character, she decides to try to break the cameras in the room, and she's like, we don't need to follow the rules, and then starts breaking stuff. And then it's funny, like, well, Mike's getting electrocuted by Ben, or not Ben, Jason. The Zoe character is just pretty much trying to poke at the walls, like she's doing something. Which I'm like, wow, like, you're not really doing much. And then pretty much, the room starts to get poison, gas, and then that's when they escape, except for Zoe, she falls, but then she's really alive, find out later on. which I liked when I was in the theater. I was cheering for that. I was like, hot dog. And then, yeah, Zoe, she makes it out pretty much. And then Ben and Jason fight over an antidote, because then they get drugged and then they have to fight for it. And pretty much Ben wins, cracks the back of Jason's head, and kills him pretty much. Then he falls through a vent. And that's when we get from the beginning, because the movie starts with Ben in an escape room being crushed almost. But then he makes it out, and he meets the game master, pretty much, who explains, oh no, it's these people that work for the wealthy viewers bet on the result of if survivors are lucky enough to I forget what the dialogue was. Each year they lure in players with something in common, pretty much survivors' guilt, and pretty much previous disasters. The Game Master tries to kill Ben, but then Zoe intervenes, and pretty much they both kill the Game Master, and then Ben is in the hospital. Zoe leads the detectives to the building, the escape room building, but then apparently this organization was able somehow, in like a matter of an hour or hours, I guess should say, they're able to clear out the place and, spray, make it, graffiti all over the place. And then it fades out to Zoe screaming because she's mad that the police don't believe her. And then it goes to, 6 months later, I believe. Yeah, 6 months later, Zoe meets up with Ben, who I guess they're dating now, because the way she was making googly eyes at him, so I guess they're dating. She shows Ben a newspaper of articles of the past other players, pretty much people that they were playing with. It's all staged deaths or accidents. And then Ben suggests that they just leave it alone, which I would agree with. Because I'm like, you know what? I don't want any part of escape rooms ever again. But she's like, I refuse. We can't just pretend like they didn't exist. I'm like, how about we pretend that the Jason character didn't exist, because he's a piece of crap who killed his friend back in the day. She reveals clues to Ben that point to an unlisted building in Manhattan, which I'm like, maybe they want you to find that. You ever think of that? She's like, this is too easy, or I forget how she even said it. It's in plain sight. I'm like, duh! And then Ben agrees to go with her, but we're not doing I'm no Jason Bourne. I guess that's when people were like mad about. Because why would you? Because it's like a dumb ending where they decide to go after these people, which was dumb. And then, however, the puzzle maker is already preparing to make their flight. Because then Zoe mentions that she has a flight to Manhattan. And so, I guess this organization was able to intersect her passport and his passport information and get them onto another escape room thing, I guess, or something, with a new deadly game of survival, and then it ends, and I'm like, screw this, 'cause I don't like that. But yeah, overall, it's a fine film if you can get over the ending, and maybe if you're a fan of the movie, you like super psychological thriller. Well, I don't know what to call it, thriller, psychological horror, I guess. But like, it's an action movie, because there's because they have to survive and that and other stuff. I mean, the backstories are pretty interesting, at least to me. The characters, I like some of the characters. I like their The acting was really good. The rooms were pretty interesting. The ending can go screw itself, and the production value is really good. The look of the film's good. I guess this made a pretty decent amount of money to where they made a sequel 2 years later. But yeah, overall, I would say give it a shot. If you like these escape room horror films, those type of that subgenre, I guess, go for it. But again, I warn you about the ending. Don't get that. But then, of course, there's a sequel that carries on the two characters from this movie into that one, so that's pretty good. Yeah, please like and subscribe. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Really appreciate it. Comment down below if anybody was interested in requesting videos, movie reviews, commentaries, reaction videos, commentaries, or topics of whatever. PayPal down below, or join my Patreon, or if you just want to donate to the channel, feel free. But yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, and peace and love.